What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to cover that Season 4 patch, baby. We're going to cover the basics, which you should basically already know or expect at this point, as well as some of the map changes, and then our actual patch notes themselves. That way you can kind of get an idea, exactly what happened and what's changing. So, right up off the bat, we know we're getting a new character. We know we're getting Revenant. We'll have another video about Revenant later as far as some tips and some ideas and his actual abilities and breakdowns and what they actually are. So be sure to check that out. Then we have the Sentinel, the bolt-action sniper rifle that is going to hit you hard to begin with, but if you use a shield battery, it's going to put somebody down, which I'm super excited for because I like that one-shot, one-kill mentality. Just hopefully you don't miss, and hopefully you don't waste that shield battery and then wind up needing it later. So some of the map changes, we've got quite a few additions, honestly, which is pretty nice because I've always been a fan of map changes. I don't necessarily need a new map, but I love it when you update the map and kind of switch it up for me. I really like that. So first, you get the Hammond Robotics Planet Harvester. That's basically a whole new little area. And then there's now a fissure which is inside of Capital City, which is causing updraft and lava flows. So now you can kind of, you know, whoosh away, kind of seem like you're on a jetpack.
Capital City is going to be split into two. So now there's going to be a fissure straight through Capital City, creating some kind of dead space between between the two areas. And now they're going to be called Fragment East and Fragment West. The fissure that's going to be cutting through Capital City will actually allow you to be pressurized up through it. It's called the updrafts. And with this, it's going to allow you to coast across and land on each side. And that's going to be balanced by two things. First, you're going to take 25 damage from the heat of the lava, and secondly, you're going to travel very slowly in third person while moving through the updraft. I think that's kind of a neat little kind of point of interest. Honestly, I just imagine a bunch of people like floating through that to check it out. And then obviously,
there's also a new survey camp area, which is between Epicenter and Skyhook, which is going to feature weapon racks, which have guaranteed weapons in them. So think kind of like when you go to the firing range and you got the weapons on the racks. That's what you're going to see, which again, in my opinion, is super awesome. There's also going to be the Season 4 Battle Pass, where it's going to have 100 levels, where you're going to have new unlockables, which is, of course, is going to include legendary skins, Apex packs, loading screens, and some music packs, which is absolutely awesome. Then you got the Rank Mode Series 3, which, point-wise, not a lot changed. There was the addition of the new the new ranking, which is Apex Champion, I believe it is, which now takes the place of Predator. And now Predator is just going to be like the top percentile of people where you can actually get knocked out of being a Predator. So you have to stay on top of that because it's only going to be a certain amount of people.
now there's been quite a few changes to the loot. So with the loot, there is now a new type of ammo. It is called sniper ammo, and there are 10 shots per pickup. And now there are several snipers in this category. You're going to have the Sentinel, which is going to be a traditional weapon, not a care package weapon, the Longbow DMR, the Triple Take, and the Charge Rifle. The Charge Rifle now uses one sniper ammo shot, and the magazine will hold 4 shots. There's also a new attachment, which is an extended magazine for sniper ammunition. Then, of course, we have a change to our energy ammo, which we kind of had a peek that, had an idea that there was going to be some changes to energy weapons because of the previous patch, because a few things got removed, removed a little early. So now it's going to give you 30 ammo per pickup instead of 20. And now that the packs that spawn next to the energy weapons, there are only going to be 2 energy ammo weapons in Apex, so they're kind of, upping the ammo up for you. They have removed the turbocharger and obviously the extended energy mags from the energy weapons. And there's also a user interface update to the gold backpack to better convey to the player when they're using or they're being revived with the gold backpack perk. There were quite a few changes into the weapons. So there have been a huge update to iron sight accuracy. So Apex guns now move around subtly. While ADSing, they rotate and sway as you move your aim. They're going to bob up and down and side to side while moving. Now they have a special tech that makes sure the reticle on the optic stays centered even as the gun moves around a bit. However, the iron sights didn't have that tech until now. So that means that the iron sight could move around with the weapon and actually be slightly inaccurate. So now it's going to be centered inside the screen. So, that's pretty useful. Not all the iron sights have been upgraded, but there is a list that have been updated. And so far, the longbow, the triple take, the charge rifle, the sentinel sniper rifle, the Havoc, the R301, Flatline, Spitfire, R99, Alternator, the Mozambique, the Mastiff, the RE45, and the Wingman have all had their iron sights adjusted and improved. So also some weapon adjustments here. With our G7 Scout, it has been moved from the sniper to the assault rifle class. Now it will only accept AR optics and attachments. So now you can just put, your regular barrel on there and your regular stock. Now with it being moved to an assault rifle, you can no longer attach like the 6X, the 4 to 8, and the 4 to 10 on it. The max you're going to be able to put on the G7 Scout is going to be the 2 to 4. It's still going to accept the double tap hop up, and it's going to contribute to the progress for stats and challenges for ARs moving forward. It does have a reduced firing rate of 4.5 to 4.0, and they've also increased the time between the shots on the double tap from 0.425 seconds to 0.475. They fixed a bug with the G7 where it had zero ADS airspread, making it the only gun that was perfectly accurate on zip lines. So they fixed that. Now the L-Star has seen some changes as well. The L-Star is no longer a crate weapon, and it can now be found around the map. It's going to be using energy ammo. The reloading aspect of the L-Star has been completely removed. It will now overheat after sustained fire, so it's best to fire in short bursts. The damage has been reduced from 19 to 18. The rate of fire has been decreased from 12 to 10. It also has less horizontal view kick when the weapon fires. The Devotion has been the Devotion takes the L-Star's place in the care packages. It is now considered a golden weapon, and honestly, I think that's a good move because the Devotion was like crazy OP to be able to pick up. That thing was wild. So now it has a magazine size of 54 with a total ammo stock of 162, and it has the turbocharger functionality. The Havoc itself, the turbocharger has been removed from the Havoc, so they have buffed the base Havoc. So now they have reduced the horizontal recoil, making it a little bit easier to control. The Havoc can still accept the select fire hop up. There is a decreased time between the shots when using the select fire hop up from 0.77 seconds to 0.56 seconds. The poor R99 has had its damage reduced. It's been reduced damage spots from 12 to 11. They increased the magazine size for the first 3 tiers, so now it's going to go instead from 18 bullets, it now holds 20. With the gray mag, it's going to hold 22. Blue, it's going to hold 24, and with the purple, it's going to hold 27 bullets. The Prowler has an increased damage per shot. They moved it from 14 to 15. The Hemlock has an increased single shot rate of fire now from 5.6 to 6.4. The Wingman, the magazine sizes have been adjusted for the Wingman. The base has been moved from 4 to 5. The Common still gives you 6. The Blue still has moved from 8 to 7. And the Purple now gives you 8 shots instead of 10. The EVA 8 actually got a little bit of a buff. So honestly, it's a little wild with the double tap hop up. They have reduced the delay between the bursts from 0.85 seconds to 0.8 seconds. With the Mastiff, they fixed an exploit that players had discovered and reported where you could rapidly fire the Mastiff. So that's no longer there. And I have a gold weapons update where there's a new set of gold weapons for Season 4. They now include the Havoc, the P2020, the Sentinel, the Prowler, and the R301. There are just a touch of legend updates. Bloodhound, whenever she downs someone, not killing, players adds 5 seconds to the Beast of the Hunt timer. It is possible to exceed the starting time with successive kills. Crypto has a little bit of a buff here. His EMP will no longer destroy friendly Gibraltar dome shields, but dome shields can no longer stick to Crypto's drones. Quite a few bug fixes here. They have fixed a bug that was causing players that reached level 500 to crash and they wouldn't be able to access their inventory or the store. They also fixed a bug where player level text would appear on the badges of level 100 badge when it wasn't supposed to. They fixed a bug for some cases where players were unable to equip weapons from care packages when attempting to swap it with an existing weapon. They fixed a few bad spots in World's Edge where players were getting stuck and getting to places they shouldn't. They also fixed a bug where sometimes when the jump master disconnects, then the followers in their squad would float in midair and be unable to unfollow. And they fixed general stability fixes as well. Alright, and there are also some quality of life fixes. So, there were a fix for the cases where approaching the edge of the circle would make the player's screen turn almost white. They updated the colorblind settings based on the player feedback. There was a community request where they added a random favorites options for unlocked skins that can be found in the legend customization menu. You'll see an option to favorite your skins you've unlocked, and then choosing a random favorite option from the skins menu will randomly cycle your chosen favorite legend skins in between matches, which is awesome. So now you can kind of rotate all those cool skins you have. I think that's a really cool idea. There's an increased They have increased the timer for when you can still be credited for an assist after dealing damage from 5 seconds to 7.5 seconds. They nerfed the roller, the little cargo bot that falls from the loot drone, which again is the cargo bot. Where now they've also reduced the damage on that and decreased the radius of the splash damage. And they updated the visual effects to the explosion for better visibility. There's also a target compensation, and the melee target compensation options have been moved to the advanced look controls menu. Now, let's talk about some rank mode. So there's some penalties and loss forgiveness in rank mode. There's going to be some changes coming to the loss forgiveness that reduce the abuse of the system. So they're going to be limiting the RP loss forgiveness when you leave once per day. So if you exceed the once per day more than 3 times per rank series, you lose all forgiveness points for the remainder of that series. Once that limit is reached, players will no longer receive RP loss forgiveness when abandoning a match, regardless of the reason for quitting. They're going to continue to display the prompts that alert you that you leaving will count, and now will alert you when you are about to run out of loss forgiveness games. The scaling penalties are still the same as the last series. So honestly, I think that's pretty good. Like I think that's a good way to keep you from abusing the system while also allowing you to be able to, still, get disconnected on occasions and it not totally, you get penalized for it. So I think that's a good move. There's also a matchmaking update where in this patch they're going to push out the changes to matchmaking that they've been testing in specific regions. So the skill-based matchmaking has existed in Apex since launch, apparently, and they're going to be continuing to improve it over time. There's also a anniversary login gift for the first week of Season 4. Anybody who logs in will receive an anniversary gift, which includes the Year 1 Origami Flyer Charm, a Year 1 Loyalty Badge, and 10,000 XP for your first match of the day, and that's available for each day. The loyalty badge is going to come in 3 different flavors depending on when you took your first leap off the dropship. So, there you go. You're going to have a cool badge if you were here from the beginning, and still not a bad badge if you just joined us. I think that's pretty awesome. That's all that's we got going on for the Season 4 patch notes. I hope that you've seen some of these fixes, some of the fixes that you wanted to happen happened, and I hope you're excited for this season because I know I am. You better play Revenant before they nerf him because I don't know. I think some of his abilities are wild, but hey, it is what it is, and I'm happy to see it. As always, if you could let me know your comments down below in the comment section. Smash that like button for me, and as always, hey man, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of your Apex news. Thank you for watching.